Hey, this is Larry with Man Cave Mayhem. Today we are working on the Ford F-150. I've got my beautiful son-in-law. He likes to think he's my son. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and he not beholding much beauty. But anyhow, long story short, we got this 2024 Ford F-150 behind us. What are we doing today, Andrew?
Installing something else for your truck.
That seemed like there was a little upsetness in the voice, like a little, it didn't sound like you were real excited.
I'm excited for you.
Okay, cool. Good. He's excited. Let's see what we got. We picked up something from Real Truck. Real Truck doesn't sponsor us, which kind of sucks because these are expensive, but we got a BAK Revolver X4s. We opted for the X4s, not the X4ST or TS or whatever, right?
You did.
Anyhow, it doesn't have the
I didn't order any of it.
Locking things on the top. You can't put a rack on top of it. But I don't care. I'm not going to be putting a rack on this truck. So we are going to install this. I'm going to show you how that works. We're going to go over a few things. I'm going to kind of show you how the water intrusion is. Everybody gets freaked out when water gets in the bed of the truck. It always gets in the bed of the truck. There's so many gaps. You're not going to stop that unless you put a regular shell on the truck. So if you're looking for a tonneau cover to keep all the water out, that ain't going to happen. But it does keep most of the water out. So if you're putting things in containers and stuff, you're not going to have issues with it. If you haven't yet, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Check us out at Instagram at mancave_mayhem. Also check out my Amazon affiliate link for a lot of these accessories. I did not buy this on Amazon, but you can purchase it on Amazon. I'll post it up on my link. Now, let's get on with the video. What do you think, Andrew? Are you excited? You seem super excited.
Please buy his stuff and subscribe so he can hire someone to replace me.
Ouch. Okay, we've got a couple concerns. I originally put these molly panels in the truck, so we're wondering if this thing will actually clear these molly panels. We got about maybe 2 inches of clearance. I'm hoping it clears. We don't know for sure, but we're going to check that out. First thing we're going to do is we're going to unpackage this thing. And we may have to do some cutting or some adjusting on the molly panels to get these side rails on the truck. But anyhow, I've been rolling around with this truck, and you know, most stuff is locked on here, like my water and my fuel container. But I do have some other things like my axe and stuff, and I usually keep a lot of tie downs in these boxes here. So I've been a little concerned about stuff getting snagged out of the back of the truck. It hasn't yet, so I'm glad for that. We're going to go ahead and throw that tonneau cover on. And we'll get started. All right. So after unpackaging this, you clearly have a right and a left side rail, and they give you a hardware bag. There's not really a whole lot of hardware to deal with. And then the main tonneau cover here. So we are going to start with the directions, and the tools needed is a 9/16 wrench, and they recommend a torque wrench too, and a blow dryer or a heat gun. I'm not quite sure why they want that. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean off the top of this bulkhead right here on the front of the cab, and then we put down a foam seal so we can so that'll help keep some of the water and debris out of the cab. So we're going to do that first. First thing you're going to want to do is clean this top bulkhead off. We're going to use some isopropyl alcohol on it just to clean it off. You can wipe it off with whatever you want, but I usually prefer alcohol. It's not hard on the paint and it cleans it pretty well. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That took longer than it should have. All right, this is how your weather seal should look on the bulkhead of your truck bed. I'm not real happy with it. You can see this seal, how it's all freaking cattywampus and looking stupid. And I'll tell you why. It's probably been sitting in the box since when, Andrew?
The box said August.
Okay, so they made that in August. It was sitting in a warehouse in like 9,000 degree temperature. And this is part of the seal. And it's all uneven, and the paper kind of stuck to it. So, hey, get some better weather seal or don't put it in the box in August. One or the other. Anyhow, my little pet peeve, that's all. I'll stop my rant. We're going to go move on to the next step. What's the next step, Andrew? Did you do your homework?
I did not. I'm currently studying.
Okay, well, what
Step
have you...
two.
Step two. What have you
Would
found?
be after step one.
Yes. What have you found on step two?
I think we have to place this. The
Place
passenger side rail.
Okay. That's what we're going to do. We'll place that passenger side rail on there, and we'll go from there. All right, I'll have to say so far this has been super easy, and I'm really liking this tonneau cover. Now I'll show you guys. This thing is ultra low profile. I'm looking here, you can see where I put the clamps. It's clearing my molly panels just perfectly. So I really, right now I'm pretty excited about this whole setup. Hopefully it's gonna go real smooth, but man, it looks great. We got these semi-tightened down. You wanna go approximately 12 inches from the cab, then kind of in the middle, and then less than 12 inches from the end. So probably closer to the end is good, just because there's gonna be a lot of movement back there and slamming on stuff. So I kind of went like 6 or 8 inches from the end on that. So we're gonna go ahead and do this other side. Andrew, are you happy?
Mm-hmm.
You know why he's happy? Because lunch is coming soon.
Yeah.
Real soon. This isn't even as high as, or it doesn't eat up as much of the side rail as the flip ones, does it? Mm-hmm. And those are pretty good.
The cargo glass.
Can you pop that down? That makes me feel better.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have a torque wrench? Mm-hmm. I want to torque them.
10-foot tall. 10-foot pound, some bitch.
All right, here's another look. This is the driver's side. And it went in perfectly, and you can see how it's clearing my molly panels really nice. Now we are going to actually use a torque wrench. They said 10 foot-pounds. We're going to go ahead and use a torque wrench on it just for grins, and we'll get that done. I have to make him do the torque wrench because he'll break things. He's a freaking ape. All right, they're all torqued down now. Now it's time to move on to the next step, and that's going to be installing this cool cover. All right.
I hope you hear my monkey sound.
I did. I hope you did. All right, so now we are going to put this on the rear of the tailgate, roll it out, and we're going to get rid of all the packaging material that's on it, and we're going to have Big Boy put it on there. That's actually pretty heavy. I would say that thing's probably at least 60 to 70 pounds. I could be wrong, but it feels heavy to me. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to roll this thing out first and see where it sits. You're doing it. Hopefully you're doing it right. Directions in the cab of the truck up in the front where we couldn't get them, so he had to climb up there. All right, what's the next step, Andrew? Now I think what we're going to do is we're putting the bolts in the slots over here on the tonneau cover. So the bolts go in right here on each side. There's 2 bolts. Let's lay those out there. Let's just see what we got in here. So you're going to take 2 on your side, and I'll take 2 on my side. And then here's the thumb screws and the washers. Those go underneath.
It goes black then.
Yeah, we're not dealing with those yet. We're putting these in first.
Okay.
So grab those.
Okay.
And these go right here. They slip into this slot. Well, they're supposed to slip into that slot.
It's because of the awesome weather stripping that these come in.
Yeah. Okay. So now we got to line those up and drop them into the spot. Now we're probably going to have to come back with this a little bit. The cover's too far forward, so let's Can we pull back on this cover?
Yeah. Stop.
Okay, I'm in now, I think. All right, so now Andrew is going to climb into the bed and go under.
Me?
I think the best thing would be to kind of latch that down. This is a negative thing that I've heard about these sharp corners right here will jack you up. So if you're dealing with this tonneau cover right here, see this?
Yeah, I see.
That's a freaking groove maker right there. I don't know why they don't do something to cover that. It's very dangerous. Anyhow,
It's only $1,500, that's why.
bolts the cab loosely fit those. Yeah, I like seeing this part. This is my favorite part. Hey, well, one thing we know, Andrew can fit in the back. If I decide I want to off him, we can throw him back here. Nobody will see him back here when we go to bury him.
Come push down on this corner.
I'm going to go push down on the corner now, and he is going to do it. This is not a two-person job, but we're making it a two-person job.
Freaking.
So far, I'm real impressed with the cover. I think, see, the rubber on the sides here is all wrinkled, but that's from it being rolled up for a period of time, and that'll, once it gets out in the sun, that'll loosen itself up, and you'll have a lot less problems with that. I think that's going to seal up real nice. And for what I'm using it for, it's perfect. It's going to keep things protected, safe, and away from the elements and away from prying little fingers. The honest, dishonest people, I guess you would say. All right, so here's the knobs inside the bed of the truck. And they're super tight, like they're kind of hard to turn, at least the ones that I've got. It feels like they're almost cross-threaded. I don't think they are, but they sure feel like it. So I guess that's intentional. But anyhow, you put the rubber grommet on, then the steel washer, and then the thumb screw, or the whatever, the knob. So we're doing that right now. We're tightening these up, and this is getting towards the end of this install. Very easy install. We've got the truck cover on right now. It's all tightened down. We've got it adjusted. You know, it says on here if you have a tapered bed or something, but our truck bed's pretty square. We didn't notice any sag or anything, so it's pretty squared up. So that's not a problem. So we're going to move on. They give you these rubber strips for this to keep from hitting the cab, or if it does hit the cab, it protects it from doing that. So I'm going to put a few of those on. If I push on this, I can't get this to hit the cab. It's designed so it's impossible to hit the cab, I think, but they put these on here just in case, and I get it. I'm sure something's happened in the past where it's broke a window or something. So we'll go ahead and put those on, and then we're going to go ahead and finish by strapping the straps on. I'll show you how that works. But we're going to use some isopropyl alcohol, clean those, put those on, and then we'll go on. You found out, Andrew.
This is the happy spot for it to stay by itself without a strap.
If you follow the directions of putting the strap behind, we are going to try to move this strap back here so we can roll this cover a little further forward, which will give us more bed space. I don't know if that's the right way to do it. Probably against manufacturer's orders. Do this at your own risk. We'll tell you if it's going to work or not. We're going to try it right now. In the recommended, manufacturer's recommended position, this is kind of how it sits, which is fine probably for most things. But if you're hauling stuff, you kind of want that thing to go forward. We're at 15 inches, a little stronger than 15 inches. And if we're putting a motorcycle in here, you want that thing as far forward as you can get it. So we're going to see what we can do to make it go forward. Let's try that now. And like I said, I'm going to move this clamp further back and see what happens. So we got this thing fully adjusted now. We originally had 15 inches, and now we're down to about 13 inches. And that was just from kind of pulling it a little tighter. You can roll this thing further forward without the straps on it. And that may be something I might do if I'm putting a bike in the truck. Just don't put the straps on it and roll it forward and have the bike hold it forward. I don't know if that's dangerous or not, but I think that might be okay to do. So that's kind of where it's at right now. I think I'm pretty pleased with it. What do you think about it, Andrew?
I like it. I like how non-evasive these
Yeah,
are.
it really is, isn't it? It's like it doesn't really take up much of the bed space at all, especially up front here. I got a 6 6'7" bed because I wanted to use the bed. I didn't want to have a postage stamp bed, and so this is actually a way where the bed can actually be used efficiently, and you don't have to deal with it. Now, some of the reasons why I got this cover, that was one of the main reasons. I don't think it's going to be the easiest thing to take off. It's pretty heavy, but you can take it off if you need to. I don't intend to take it off. I think I'm going to leave it.
If you do, those knobs are a pain.
Yeah, the knobs, we put the knobs on and it's almost like they're made to go on tight so they don't loosen up. It's almost, they feel like they're cross-threading on when you turn those knobs on. So that's another little negative thing, but I understand why they did it, to keep it tight. I don't know what else. Here's, like I said, this is another thing that I found negative about it. These sharp corners right here. I know some people have 3D printed covers for these, and I get why they would do that, because you catch yourself on that freaking corner, you can cancel Christmas. You might be going to a urgent care for some freaking stitches. The thing's like sharp. Kind of surprised they haven't done anything about that. But also, I looked at the Paragon covers, and I didn't like the idea when you put a box towards the back, if you close that cover down, it closes onto the box. So, and you can't get the cover open, which didn't make any sense to me. This overall just seemed to make a lot more sense. I'm not doing any overlanding as far as putting things on the top. They do make this with a T-rail that you can put racks on if you want that for an overlanding cover, but that's not what I intend to do. We're going to get this thing closed up. We're going to clean up this mess, and I'll give you my final thoughts, and I'll show you how it looks as far as the low profileness of it and everything. Sound good, Andrew? The thing that's nice about this cover is it latches down all along the sides. You can see that those teeth come down on the grooves in the cover itself. Also, you can open the tailgate without lifting the cover, and you can close the tailgate without having the cover closed or opened or whatever. So you can open your tailgate or close your tailgate with it open or closed. Doesn't make any difference. So, like, I can close this tailgate now, and we can roll the cover back, and it's not going to be a problem. The cover will roll back. So that's kind of a cool thing. Let's roll this thing back, Andrew. You just drop in, just roll it back. It's really kind of a trip how it works. There she is. Now, like I said, I think all these ripples and stuff will come out once it gets in the sun.
I think that's what the heat gun is for.
Yeah, that's right. They do suggest you use a heat gun. We're going to get these stickers off. Why don't you peel that sticker off, that right hand or left hand sticker off. Anyhow, probably instead of using a heat gun, we're just going to drive it and go out in the sun and let it bake. Anyhow, what else do you think, Andrew? Any other things on this? Do you like or dislike about it?
I like the top.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice. I think some of these grooves, depending on how long you have it closed, will go away, but it's really low profile, which makes me happy. It'll be a lot easier to go camping and not have to worry about items getting stolen out of the bed of your truck when you go down to the beach and stuff. It'll make it nice. So anyhow, that's going to about do it for this video. If you haven't yet, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Check us out at Instagram at mancave_mayhem. And just remember, folks,
you are a man.
It really screws it all up. I'm just a man in a cave causing mayhem. Thanks for watching.